Hi guys, I'm Val. I have a podcast.
And we're back to another episode of The Hated Truth. What's up, guys? It's your boy Vayo J3.
Wait, that was real life?
Yeah, real life. Yeah, that was real.
Go ahead, Chulo. Talk to
I guess I'll introduce myself next. Chulo. At Chulo Swag, aka B. And yeah, we're real live.
Yeah, we're real live. Hi guys, it's Bay. Clearly I was a little bit out of it for like 2 seconds. Welcome back. We're here for 2021 and we have a special guest.
Michelle.
Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Soulfully_Val on IG, also known as Michelle Valerio. You already know. I got my podcast called Reflections with Val, so you can check that out. So yeah, here we are. I'm here in The Hated Truth. So thank you guys for having me, man.
Thank you for coming.
I'm honored.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. And I don't know about you guys, but I did a little bit of my homework on you because we knew you were coming on. You know, you always have to be prepared. And you are actually an artist yourself. Mm-hmm. You sing, which you sing beautifully. Right. It was great. I definitely enjoyed all the videos. And like she said, she has a podcast herself. So we thought that we discussed today what brings us to be our common ground, and that's that we're all here talking to you guys, and we enjoy podcasting. So I guess we could start off with what kind of made all of us start the podcasting. Like, what made you want to start podcasting?
Me, I love motivating and elevating and cultivating other people. So it was more of like, I worked in sales a lot. I've worked people to people. I did serving, bartending. So I kind of just always picked up people's energies like a sponge, and then I threw it right back.
People to people?
Yeah, people to people.
Like the... You're just talking about like the interaction? Mm-hmm. I thought you meant the program. I'm sorry. There's a program called People to People, and I was going to be like, no way! Because I did the same thing.
Yes.
Oh my God!
It was one of those.
No, People to People is a movement. I did hear about it. But
okay. Alright.
But yeah, like just physically just being in there, interacting, getting to know someone, you can really tell a lot about a person. If you observe them, by the way they respond, if they're frustrated, if they're coming from an angry place. And I just always tend, like at AT&T when I used to sell, I used to always make someone cry. It was so bad to a point that my manager was like, can you stop? I'm like, yo, at least I'm selling. Like, I got tablets.
How long did you
cry into a sale.
have that job?
I had that job for 2 years.
Wow.
2 years making people cry.
Yo, and like, I don't know what it was. And
I wish I had that job.
Making people cry?
I don't think that was her job.
That sounds pretty easy.
I think this is what she was doing.
My job was
make
to
people
sell.
cry now too. So
You do?
yeah,
I can see that.
I can see her
you
going,
give them a ticket.
you gonna get this iPhone?
They kind of get.
And they tell her no, and she goes, what, are you broke? And then they start crying.
No, that's actually perfect impression.
Real life problems.
You can't afford an iPhone? Like,
Why'd you walk in?
Like, why are you wasting my time?
There was this one time where this child was running his whole entire parents' account. He was like, you're going to get me the latest and greatest iPhone. I don't care what you say. And then she was like, but I can't afford it right now, so you're going to have to listen to mommy. I literally got in the way. I said, you better stop. I told her, you better stop. You better put your foot down. You don't want this. You don't want this. You can't afford this. Don't get it. Like...
I would have been like, no. If you could afford it later, you could afford it now.
Yes.
Let's figure this out. What
Can
we
we
move around?
Let's maneuver it, right? And then like that's basically how it all started. Like when I started having like this gift of like uncovering people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you said making people cry. That's what I was about to say.
I have a gift of making people cry.
Yeah, I mean, as I uncover, they eventually heal or open up from whatever they're going through, and it's edifying for me because I'm grateful to listen to people's experiences because there's some people that came on my show and they're like, listen, I was brought up in an abusive, verbal, you know, I was an addict, I was out here homeless, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't even, like my struggles weren't even close to that, but I was always talking to people like, yo, I've gone through this, I've gone through that, but when hearing other people, it humbles yourself, and that's what I do on my show, so I hope that you guys can get edified as well, whoever listens, for sure.
Of course, yeah.
And where can you find your show?
On SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, all of that. Like even the Apple.
All Apple. All podcast platforms.
Yeah, you go.
Pretty much, yeah.
Little brain fart.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What made you guys start podcasting?
So,
Alright.
when I was at Montclair, they had this week that they allowed Greeks that were in like fraternities and sororities to go on the radio station and speak about Greek life to give Greek life exposure. So I went on it for an episode and I loved it. Like I was just sitting there talking to the guy, being personable, talking about experiences, just anything Greek life, but just talking to people, and then being able to actually talk to other people and telling them, and they also listened in, and they were like giving me great feedback and everything. And then I came back on it again, did it again with him, and I was like, yo, this is awesome. Like I would love. I was like, if I can go back in time, I would have been a communications major, and then started a podcast way beforehand. But I was trying to look into ways to actually do a radio station without being on the radio, and then I found podcasts. I started listening to podcasts, and I was like, man, I should just start one. I should just do it. But life got in the way as far as like timing or whatever, and then I ended up finding another person that wanted to start a podcast as well. We linked up forces.
I didn't want to start a podcast. First of all, he forced my arm to do this thing.
He was lying. He listens to a ton of podcasts. I do. And was like, I want to be part of one.
That is actually very true.
What was your top one?
I don't lie.
To be honest with you, I listen to a lot of football and sports podcasts just because I'm a sports junkie. I can watch any sport, whether it's good or bad. As long as it's a sport, I understand it. I know the concept. I know the rules, how the scoring works in pretty much every sport. So I just keep myself entertained in that aspect. I like that form of reality TV, not the fake reality TV. So that's why I tend to go to sports instead of that. Yeah. I'd rather something real than something fake real.
Yeah,
there's
exactly. There's a podcast about everything, y'all. Like, there's this girl who started a podcast because she had trouble coming, and she thought she was the only woman. So she started a podcast about it.
It wasn't called Her Daddy, right?
It was called...
that was on Barstool.
It was called Why Can't I Come? And am I the only one? Like, literally. And I was like... One of my boys was like, her man must be so embarrassed. Because if she still cannot... there must be something wrong.
True. I
wonder if she actually had a man when she started the podcast.
That's my question.
Because that would have been embarrassing.
It's like... The resume that went behind that.
And everybody that listened to it would have been like, wait, doesn't she go out with so-and-so?
Yes.
Didn't she go out with this guy and that guy? And,
so none of them?
That's right.
No, you like
nothing ruins a man more than a bad dick grade. Once he has a bad dick grade,
it's over.
It's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It spreads. It spreads.
It's like wildfire.
Yeah. You get a bad dick grade.
Yeah.
Woof.
And then when they ask the 411 on you, it's over. Like
you be like, girls talk. Girls talk.
Have you heard about
Girls do talk.
Wow.
Bad
girl.
Girls do talk. That is.
Save yourself. Matter of fact, leave the state. Don't get a bad dick grade. Just leave the state.
Relocate.
Yeah, relocate.
Delete your IG, make a new one, start a new life.
Don't settle for that bad digger.
It's always a restart is always good. Just make sure that you don't restart the same way you ended where you left. You know
what I'm saying? But shout outs to you for doing that podcast.
Yo, I mean, if it worked, it worked. Listen,
they got us talking about it.
Yeah, it worked.
But baseball podcast, I want to know about that. I gotta miss that one.
No,
but I understand the love though because you love sports, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. And actually, it really started from fantasy football. I'm big on fantasy football, so listening to podcasts relating or giving me advice on which players to pick up, what adjustments to do to lineups and things like that. Detailed information that I probably wasn't paying attention to that now I should be paying attention to. And then I went from there.
Football. Did you ever watch the league?
I never watched the league.
Really?
I heard it was hilarious.
You should watch it. I feel like
it had a whole bunch of puns related to NFL.
It.
Oh, that has to be a thing. You guys have to record yourselves watching it for the first time.
We'll hold hands.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll do a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Exactly. That'd be funny.
Us watching it.
Heard it here first.
No, but I would also listen to podcasts about Game of Thrones. I was a very big Game of Thrones fan.
And then later on.
As soon as the episode was done, I would go into the podcast, listen to Game of Thrones, the recap of the episodes. They would hint at little things that you aren't paying attention to. Mm-hmm. There was one of the speakers on the podcast. The host was someone that didn't read the book, and they also had someone that read the books.
So you got two different.
So they had to cross-reference everything. How one of them was proceeding it, how they would pick up on these certain little details. And then they had more in-depth ones, and then they also had like spoiler episodes where they knew what was going to happen. but they would let you know, don't listen to this if you don't want the spoiler, and so on and so forth.
And then you just went on and said, okay, Braulio, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I was listening to everything.
So you didn't literally have a hand?
No.
No. It was like, I pushed him and he just like, timber.
It's like, oh my God, you got me, I'm in.
Now, when did you come into play?
So I joined the Hated Truth a couple months ago. And
last season.
Towards the end of last season. And that's because, B and I have a good friendship outside of the podcast. And I've always been big into podcasts, but I was a communication major in my undergrad years. And I personally just thought of the idea, I like the idea of sitting down and learning from other people. Like, I'm an educator and I like to educate, but I'm also big on me learning myself. And I like to do that through conversation. Like, I like to do that through the exchange of experiences and lessons that people have learned, and that's kind of where that came in. And then he offered it to me one day, and I was like, let me think about it. And I was like, maybe. And then I was like, what do I have to lose? It's gonna be a good time. It'll be a new experience. So why not? And then we came on here, and we've just been doing our thing ever since. It's been great. It's been great. It's always a good time.
I've been pushing Braulio to get Beijing on too.
Yeah, what?
I said, yo,
he forced my hand.
Yeah.
See, he be lying.
Oh.
I forced him, but he forces me.
I said he can't be the one with the
nice hair.
He
forces me to do everything.
I said he can't be the one with the nice hair.
If you didn't watch our live, he already offered me up to do a bunch of other stuff that I never agreed to. So he's the forcer.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Right?
I was actually like on your live one time, and me and my team, we were all listening to y'all. We were cracking up. Like, Therapy Without a Degree, anybody, like all the pods on Jersey Media, we were like, yo, this shit's fucking hitting. I was like, okay.
I see y'all.
Don't hate the truth. To be honest with you, that's all on the spot content. You have no idea. You have no idea.
You're like, oh yeah? He's like, you want to be a motivational speaker?
These two are hilarious.
I was cracking up.
That's brilliant.
These are hilarious. But now that we're talking about other podcasts, I have a curiosity, and I would like to know what everybody thinks about,
of course,
kind of how podcasts, or like what their purpose is now, because there's so many. I feel like they kind of sprung up. Mm-hmm. It was like a big, just like burst of a bunch of them. And I think it's cool because living through the generation, or through the times that we're living now, where everything's virtual, especially now, but even before then, people were so glued onto their phones. I feel like this has now become a new way of people coming together and having those conversations. So kind of like the old, you guys seen the pictures of conversation pits that are coming back, like in their living rooms? If you guys don't know what a conversation pit is, look it up.
I have no idea.
What was it? Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows it better. If not, we'll get the information. I want to say it was like the 60s. So like in their living room, they would have like an indent, and they would be like a couch. They were called conversation pits because people would go in there, and it's a big square or circle, and you sit down and just talk. Whenever I think of podcasting, that's what I think of. I think of a conversation pit, and it's kind of like we're going back in time, and this is like our generation's way of interpersonal interaction, like actually sitting down and having good conversations. So that's my take, but I want to know what you guys think about it, given that it's become so popular now.
Honestly, what I think about it and the way I see it is podcasts, and I think on one of your episodes they spoke about this very clearly. It's like it's an outlet where we can speak freely with no restrictions or anything to hold us back. So whatever content we want to put out, whatever we want to talk about, whatever we want to share, it allows us to do that. And our audience can appreciate that and accept that, because they know that it's genuinely being spoken by the people around it. It's not something that's that is limited by the media or by other people. It's what we want to share. It's what we want to talk about.
I agree. I also feel like now it's been so easy to actually create a podcast. Like, you have certain apps that allow you to do everything from your phone or from a laptop. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't need high-tech equipment to just start up. So I think like just that access to it has allowed us to like just
be able to create, right? Yeah.
I think that we needed this because in quarantine, when we went on lockdown, man, it was like,
what am I gonna do with my time? I'm gonna go crazy
all
here.
of us, I think, individually as human beings, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's like literally that's what was on my
lot.
mind, and I was like, how am I gonna talk? Who am I gonna call? Like, we can't even be in person to person. Like, there was this first time as human beings that we were afraid of being around each other.
Right.
So it was like a lot for us to intake. So I think podcasting actually helped us get through those
I think so.
emotional swings
and
those rough times. Because there's a podcast about scary movies or scary stories.
Yeah.
There's, I don't know, Rick and Morty creators came out with a podcast too during this time, and it's genius. It's absolutely genius. The way they do it is based on cartoons and stuff like that, and their interviews are included in that. Like, it's a whole fucking, like, every minute you're like, what the fuck am I listening to? But like, you need to get taken out of your head sometimes, and I think that's what it did for us. So kudos to all of you guys that started podcasting and like joined it, because you literally saved us. I listened to like so many podcasts during this time, and if it didn't, I would have just gone crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's podcasts and audiobooks. Yeah, and that's my life.
Oh yeah, self-help books too. Like
I actually watch YouTube videos.
YouTube University.
Exactly. As long as you're learning, evolving.
Well, Twitter University is my main.
Really, Twitter. I'm still trying to get into Twitter. I really don't.
Oh my! Everything's on Twitter first.
Twitter is
you
the
have
best.
to.
Everything's on Twitter
media
first.
Platform by far.
I think so too.
Period.
They should start charging for
And
Twitter.
and anywhere.
Don't give me
Cut!
No!
I'm bleeping that. I'm
Don't
bleeping that.
You blew it!
I'm bleeping.
Every day you see a tweet like, "How is it still free?"
You know what? I just need to know how to maneuver it. I just feel like there's a search bar and a bunch of tweets.
We gotta give it Twitter lessons whenever
It's
we're
amazing,
done.
though.
And the hashtags.
And then anything that ends up on IG, TikTok now is all on Twitter.
It's all on Twitter first.
All on Twitter. And the hashtags, you just hashtag, boom, look it up, and there it is. Yeah.
That's
the best.
crazy.
It is
One
superior
of my
over-
friends told me that he gotten a lot of podcasts during that, because he just researched hashtag New Jersey podcast. He found so many.
Yeah.
They're like, it's as simple as that, or networking,
I mean,
and just
you
be
can
like,
easily, like, I don't even do customer service anymore. I just at the business on Twitter, and they respond to me either through a tweet or through DMs to answer my
How
question.
to fix whatever it is, any issues.
Or
So
like if I
there's
had an
good
issue with them,
engagement.
I'll at them, and they'll be like, "Oh, how can we help you?"
oh, so there's more support there. There's more engagement.
Yeah,
there.
because if it continues to get retweeted that they had a bad experience, then it's bad publicity, and no company wants
and then
that.
it's hashtag cancel whomever or whatever.
Yeah.
Because we all know that cancel culture comes by quick.
Yeah.
So they have to respond. They have to be on it.
But what made you guys like not fearful of starting it though? Because I was at
What's
fear.
my Twitter?
Like no, just in general, like your podcast.
Podcast.
Oh,
I feel like when it came to the content that we're bringing and what we want to talk about, although this is a viewer-driven podcast where the topics kind of get thrown at the viewers and they say what they want to hear or they put in their inputs, the conversations and what we talk about is like our conversation. So I'm talking to my friend, and the fact that we're just talking to each other about those topics and things, I feel like the audience would naturally just come if it's even gonna come or anything like that. You get me? So it's more of a, we're doing this because this is what we enjoy to do, and this is what we want to do. And if the audience wants to listen to this as well, then great, share in. We want you to interact with us and put your inputs. We always have polls and topic Tuesdays, so they're always giving their inputs on certain topics that we kind of throw at them. And if they want additional or different topics, then we always let them slide in whatever topic they want at the end as well.
But that wasn't fearful at all for you.
No.
To put yourselves out there. And
no, I mean, I've always said it. My social media platforms are public as fuck.
I actually said that to him in the DM the other day.
When I'm so public, it was like I can care less about what, like, let's say what other people think about what I do on the podcast, just because I don't really care about what I do on my social media platforms. I tweet what I want to tweet. I post what I want to post.
Yeah.
So if I want to talk about whatever people want to talk about and just give my opinion, I think that's how the name came about, actually.
Really?
The hated truth.
Yeah. Because it was just like our opinion, and it was be all say all.
And the hated truth is our version of the truth.
Exactly.
Because there's always different versions of the truth. So the hated truth is our raw, uncut version of the truth.
No, to be honest, that name stands out a lot. Like I'd just be like, ooh, what?
Like, what are they going?
What are they gonna tell me?
They're about to just corner me somewhere, make me face myself, something, and I'm not ready.
Okay, so I think now we can get into our last little segment of today's episode, and that's gonna be a little versus battle. So we came up with a couple questions that we thought would be a little interesting, maybe a little controversial. Now that it's a 2-on-2, when usually it's a 2-on-1.
Listen, you gotta be on the right.
2 versus 2.
You gotta be on the right team, alright? Because you know we always on the wrong side of things. So.
Your hair looks more like hers than anything. So don't even come at me like that.
Yeah, but
You're coming at me sideways.
Always yes.
Curly Hair Nation.
I say yes, he says no. I say yay, he says nay. Come on, alright?
He
Focus.
says
You-
tomato,
There you go, there we go. I like it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, ready? So, first one. Who's the best cook? Females or males?
Braulio, go ahead, say it. I wish you would.
I kind of want to see it.
Males.
Get that out of here!
My
You guys can't.
My only I mean, I may not believe this, but my only defense is that the most famous cooks are all males.
That's true.
That's a good one.
Bam! Drop the mic, walk away.
That's one of those chefs that says that.
Yup.
Bam.
No.
What
No
did he
bam.
say?
No
What-
bam.
that salt guy, what's his name?
Salt
Salt
Bay.
Bay.
That's his name? Salt Bay?
No.
Salt Bay.
No, Salt Bay, yeah.
Yeah,
His restaurant closed down during quarantine.
They did, because they went out and
I mean,
Wait, what do
they
you
charge
guys-
more than enough.
Did you guys vote with guys or girls?
They agreed.
Yeah,
I
agree
just
with that
just
statement.
sold
I
them.
don't know.
With the statement?
I feel like
Alright,
You want me to argue myself?
more females cook better than more men? How about that?
in the
Population
family,
wise.
in the family,
Yes.
If you want to argue with myself, then females, because grandma's cooking is A1. And
Yo, even some aunts.
And all grandmas.
Yeah.
All grandmas.
All grandmas always
What about-
throw it down.
what about
All
grandpas?
grandmas always throw it down.
All grandmas.
No, grandpa's law. So
But
wait.
remember, back in the day, grandpas didn't,
Yeah, they had to work. They worked.
They was very old
Yeah.
school.
Yes.
Is what we call,
some
you know.
deals know how to throw it down too. Because my uncles,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we if we're talking about grilling,
Oh.
we take the cake.
Really?
We take the cake.
Yeah.
I've never
Men take
seen
the cake.
anybody grill.
Yeah.
Any females grill.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've
And
never
if we're
seen
talking about bacon, I think we can say women because women we're a lot more detail oriented, which is what you need when it comes to
Okay,
bacon.
okay.
So I
Okay.
think
Baby, you have not
that's
said anything about
Because
your
you guys
choices.
are saying that at all. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, I went on both sides, and then I gave.
Alright.
Yeah.
About
I think-
specialties.
If you go to the Food Network, there's more guys with shows and everything about cooking than there's female.
that is very true. I actually never
Alex is a female chef. She's my favorite. But they have Guy Fieri. They have Bobby Flay. And all these guys, like they're the ones that continually
True
have
swag.
no,
Ooh.
Get out of here. Get out of
they
here.
have all the big name shows. You get me? And they tend to bring
Big name
in
show.
more money. So
Yeah.
I wonder how much food critics make. Like how we have to do to get that kind of job, you know?
Oh, that's
Like,
tough.
because all we had to do is just go to Bobby Flay and be like, yo, this shit was trash.
What?
And we get paid for that, yo, that's crazy. Like,
That might be a thing.
that might be a thing.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
We'll look
We
it up.
definitely will after this. Which sex has better drivers?
Men.
Who's a better driver?
Men.
Men.
I will say, yeah.
So then why do women get cheaper car insurance rates?
I don't know.
Because they're safer drivers.
Oh, they're safer drivers, not better.
No, not better.
But wouldn't safer equal better?
Not always.
Unless you want to die, right?
Yeah,
Listen, we take what we can afford.
Hey, everybody. Hey, I've only
afford
seen
just
one
liability.
female in NASCAR.
Oh, that is not right.
Hey,
So
we're going
you-
to take it to professionalism.
He said he's only seen one female in NASCAR. You telling me that a woman can't drive in a circle?
No.
No. Sugar lost?
oh, they did? Oh, just no. I thought you were gonna say no, but then
No,
like, you were like,
He's dead ass is like, no. We
Yeah.
can't do it,
I'm
don't
not feeling about
She'll
you
do a
today.
pit stop and ask for directions.
Who's more common to go home and be like, babe, don't get mad. I kind of hit a pole.
A pole? That's the whole pole.
or a stick, or I scratched the car.
Like a standstill object.
Yeah. Who's more common to come home and say that?
I don't know.
Oh,
We
wait.
gotta ask the
The female,
insurance
yeah.
company.
The female.
Yeah.
Females.
I ain't pointing no fingers.
Safer is not always better.
That's very true.
Okay.
Okay, next. Which
Don't
sex
hate
is more? I don't want. Maybe not. We
Yeah.
have educate. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
more educated?
Who's smarter?
More intellectual? I feel like intellectual. is a better
Females.
word.
Yeah, women.
I definitely
Me.
think
I
so,
agree
too.
too.
Sorry,
Me.
Bale.
Yeah, sorry, Bear. You on your
Well,
own on that
females.
one because
There was a joke about
we
that.
said.
There was a doctor that was trying to do a brain surgery and switch out a brain, and they asked him if they wanted a used brain or a new brain, and they said, "What's the difference?" The woman actually used her. The guys didn't use his.
Ah.
There it is.
The problem is that when it comes to like sex, we have two heads, so we can't really figure out which one to use.
I'm glad he said it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he
I was
said
like-
it because I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god,
Okay.
I need to be focused on my business, but damn, this ass looking real
we just
good.
think
right
that
now.
we're
Hey.
both, and then they're just not interconnecting, you know.
They get. Oh, okay.
The same but different.
Alright.
Identical.
Who is always right?
We already know this.
If we're driving,
I'm looking at them like.
I'm
y'all-
looking at them like
y'all
I already know.
I'll let you start.
Y'all already know.
if we're driving,
What?
if we're driving, I'm not lost. All right. So don't tell me I'm lost. All right. But at home, yeah, you're right. You get whatever you want.
Happy
Whatever.
wife, happy life, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, that's right. That's
The
right.
Bayo, we need to get you a shirt that says that.
Happy
You
wife,
right.
happy life.
Period.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think that's it, right? We
I
can
mean, to
agree?
be honest-
I was looking at him like I feel like he has something to say.
80% of the time, all the time, I'm right.
We're not talking about you.
But because we're talking about a collection,
Look, just make sure nobody's above the law, and Chulo's the law.
wow. It really
You're
is
welcome.
law.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Unless I'm a lawyer,
You're
then
welcome.
he's not above it. Because I know more than it.
Alright, ready? Which sex can drink more?
Drink more,
Yeah.
guys. We got bigger bellies.
guys,
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
proven fact just because of body mass, all that takes into account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Weight.
I feel like
all
you guys
that.
get together more and drink more too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we do have a lot more.
Right? Because we don't do
I mean,
that.
we get together to
I
drink
mean,
for everything.
We can do
Yeah.
summer parties, we can do
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
more.
If we're hanging out, we're drinking. If we're playing a game, we're drinking.
We just drink.
We play sports and we drink.
Right, that's
We
like,
watch sports, we drink.
drink.
So it's
It's
like,
like-
we just have too many events
we
around.
grill, we
Drinking.
drink.
We
We
drink.
podcast.
We podcast, we drink.
Hey.
I'm on a
Okay.
diet, so
Okay.
that's
Who-
why water.
Which sex makes better music? And I think maybe you could probably give us a little more of a
Yo,
of
to
an
be
accurate
honest,
answer.
honest.
You know, I music
Yep.
is my. I love
I'm thinking
it.
about
There's
all
more-
the legends that ever existed. At
There's
this
more
point.
male artists.
There are more male artists.
More male artists.
There
I mean,
are more male artists.
I just feel like when you have Romeo Santos on your side, it's like the
Auto win.
It's an auto win.
Romeo Santos, Mark Anthony, like. I mean,
I know.
you got
That's so
Jay-Z, you got Nas,
You got Jay-Z, you got
you got 112.
But we
112.
got Lauryn
You got
Hill.
Usher.
Yeah, we do have Lauryn Hill.
We have Beyonce.
Mary J.
Mm.
Who
Mariah
else we
Carey
got?
has still one popping ass song.
Yeah.
All I want for Christmas.
But
That's
that's
too
always
much.
number one every single
Every-
Christmas.
yeah.
Like it's
Every
crazy.
year.
There's
Them
nothing.
fails.
It always comes back to the billboards.
It does.
It really does, and I'm like, yo, she can't even sing half those notes now.
Oh,
She can't.
we got Michael
Such
Jackson.
a hater right
Oh,
now.
Michael Jackson.
We have Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm trying to think though. Like I feel like
If
There
you gotta think, you lost.
there was Michael Jackson. Let's look at the legends here. Michael Jackson, Prince. Then we have
Prince is a little bit
Whitney
on both
Houston.
sides.
Whitney Houston was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
There was a lot of people that were good, but I just feel like I think it's a tie.
The Temptations.
I think it's a tie.
Not
Do
even
you think
close.
it's
The Temptations. Okay.
Temptations are fire. You also have.
But on Brian McKnight too, he was really popping in the 90s.
So
Mhm.
we just take
Yeah,
that.
we're just gonna say men. Yes,
Men.
even music producers. I feel men are predominantly known, like Timberland.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so right. I'm just gonna have to take that.
DJ Khaled.
We the best.
Another one.
Which sex has better athletes?
I don't want to touch this
middle,
topic.
bro.
It's gotta be.
What?
Because I feel like it depends on the sport.
Look, yo, Ronio's eyes lit up.
No?
Okay, so in Europe, there was this this guy. Yes.
Hated true facts.
I hate a true fact. There was this guy that was like, men and women aren't the same when you compare them as athletes because men are physically stronger or capable. Like their bodies are different, right?
Okay.
But they were like, no, it's equal, it's all equal, whatever it is. So this guy registered as a female in this bodylifting competition, and he blew out everyone in the competition. He just won. Like deadlifts, everything, whatever it was, he just destroyed the competition and won in first place.
And he never did bodybuilding ever.
No, he did bodybuilding. But just meant like athlete to athlete, you get me? It was just a drastic disadvantage just because of the body types are different. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like certain things like that, you can say, yes, they're very talented in their field and their aspect and what they do in comparison to their competition. But I feel like male and female athletes are so drastically different that to even compare them in that aspect, if you put a female basketball player against a professional male athlete, you know, the best in the game in both categories, right? LeBron James versus
Lisa Leslie in her prime.
Exactly.
Right, they're in her prime, yeah.
Like, do you think it would be a fair competition? Do you think LeBron James would win? Do you think he'll blow her out? Do you think she'll even score or anything like that? Like, you get me? It's like things like that.
Yeah.
When you compare it like that, it's tough to say.
It is tough to say.
Yeah.
But then there's also different competitions and things like swimming can be something that's probably a lot more evenly distributed.
I think there was this girl who actually tried going for the NFL recently. It was the only female. If you would follow up, yes,
she's the kicker.
And my brother even said the same thing you said. My brother said the same thing you just said. She's like, yo, she shouldn't be out there. Like, I broke a couple bones just being defense, and this girl wants to be out there with men.
Somebody hits her.
She gonna be
it can look ugly sometimes, but I mean that's the risk that men take themselves. I mean, there's some kickers in the NFL that, you know, the Colts kicker looks like he's a nerd and doesn't have a muscle in his body. If we look him up,
out there, right?
But he's out there. He's kicking the ball too. You get me?
Okay.
But if he gets lit up,
he's broken. He's gonna be broken.
And concussions.
Some of these guys weigh triple his weight.
Yeah, it's insane. So if I'm voting, I'm saying male athletes, just because if you're putting them in the same field,
they always out the water.
They're more likely to win in those competitions.
Okay. I'm gonna stick to half and half, and only because I feel like the other half of sports is being able to think critically, and I think that women are very well at doing that and being able to like strategize and like look at things from different angles than men do. So I'm still gonna do 50-50 because I feel like just a physical, so is the strategizing in any sport. I feel like it's just as important.
I want to do 50-50. I really do, but I did military training. And I can tell you that our numbers as women were lower than the men numbers to hit. So when it comes down to that, that kind of makes me question, like, we kind of got a little easy on us more than the men, and that's just it.
I mean, I got childbirth, you know, so.
That's
there
true.
There you go.
At that point, you guys win.
Yeah.
I can't compete with that.
I want you guys to literally try that machine that makes you
Namaste.
find
Oh my God, yes.
contractions
yes.
and stuff. So you guys can
listen,
feel
if you want the hater tube, if you want
Vail to do it, tag us, add us, let us know because he's trying to have a kiss.
You guys should have that.
So he should know how it feels.
Listen.
Before he volunteers me.
Listen, to all the hater tube listeners, if you want the hater tube to get a machine and have both of them go at it. Both of them. All right, we need to get.
Where do we get this machine?
I don't know. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it, and we're gonna do this. But if you guys want this to happen, you need to like this video on YouTube.
Yes.
Like the video on YouTube. And if we get over 10 likes. Nah.
That's it.
No.
Let's do.
Give me a number. 25.
Give me
25.
Yeah. 25. All right.
More
More than 25. If we get 26. 26. It's
That's
over.
nothing.
It's over. I gotta call out all the lady
Should we
hated
go
truth listeners. No. All the lady hated truth listeners, y'all better like this video right now. Like it right now. Like
This is
pause the
miserable.
video, scroll down,
This is
like
terrible.
it, go back up, press play.
And we
back.
don't have them
This
go
is-
through labor
This
pains.
is unbelievable.
Yo,
This is not good.
This is not okay.
This is not what happens to me.
Now.
It happens to
Now
him.
you know how I feel.
I am so excited. Okay.
That's
I'm
what I'm
not.
gonna say. That's
I'm
what
not.
we're gonna say when you're in there.
This is gonna
Why'd you
have
bring
to
that up?
be. This is gonna have to be a
Why'd you bring
reunion
up
episode too. We
labor?
all gonna have to come back and we're gonna do this
God.
together.
Yes,
So
we
excited.
are.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
I want to
record
take.
that.
I'm taking my comment back.
I can see
taking
Chulo
it
going.
Too late. It's on camera.
Yeah, you're the one that brought this up.
Shut your mouth.
It's on camera and it's going on the internet.
It was Radio Obama.
Okay, let's wrap
more
up. We
points
only
for
have
you
a couple
guys.
left. All right. So next one is, who do you guys think is thirstier,
Men.
females or men?
Period.
I agree.
But on the low, women be
We
thirsty.
yeah. I've
Men.
heard of some crazy stories, but I think overall,
Men.
I think men take
Men.
that one. I think
Men do crazy
Men
shit
straight
when they think it with the wrong head.
Bisexual men.
in all
Men.
sexual orientations, you
All
say men.
sexual orientations, men.
100%
All
men.
right.
All sexual.
All right. Next.
All sexual, asexual,
Who?
trisexual, bisexual,
He said try.
All the
Men are
sexuals.
LGBTQ, everything else.
All the
What?
sex-
He said the alphabet.
Community.
move. Next. Who's most likely to make the first move?
Men.
I would say
Tradition.
Men.
Yeah.
Men.
Not meth.
Not
Men.
meth.
You don't need meth to make the
Men.
first move.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's because
We're conditioned.
Yes.
it's just like our morals or whatever, our norms is like the guy is like usually initiate.
Approach.
Like usually when you do the first kiss, is like the guy leans in 90-10.
It's all about power.
Hitch.
Women want the power.
One of my friends.
Yeah, that's why they want you to go
Oh.
90 and then they give you the 10.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, Hitch! We're going back to
Come
Hitch!
on, that's the best.
We
way
love
to go.
Hitch.
Have you ever gone for the
Rom-com.
first move and they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, you get the G! You get the G!
That happened to you?
I've gotten the cheek. I've gotten the whoa. I've gotten no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Have you ever done that? Where
What?
where a guy's come at you and you've been the one to be like, whoa.
one time I was like, whoa. I was like, no, that's not where I'm at.
She said no.
We're not
baby.
here right now.
We're not on the same
I was
page.
dodging it like a basketball.
Now,
That be happening.
Like little kid.
like that Missy Elliott.
I mean, I've
Oh
probably
my.
kissed before.
Yikes.
Maybe one too.
That must be so embarrassing. My face would have turned so red.
No, I'm like, no, it's okay.
Did they
it's
talk
okay.
to you after? Like, did you talk to them? Or you seen them after?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Not all of them.
That's embarrassing. That would hurt. That would hurt the pride and the ego.
Has that ever happened
Well, then
to
you
you?
give them a
Like,
tap
you've been
kiss.
denied a kiss?
No.
No.
Oh!
But that's
Yo, 100%. Overachiever!
I don't mean it like that.
No.
You denied or
I've done it. Yes, I've denied.
Okay,
And it was like
okay.
it was coming in, and I don't know why I was like, whoa. Like I was like, whoa.
Oh, hug.
I don't know why I went down. I was like,
You
whoa.
give him the hug and the double pat on the back.
Okay.
You do the double pat on the back? That's his buddy.
I don't even do it.
No, Pat definitely.
I hate
needs
wet
buddy.
kisses too on
Well, you
the
hit him with
cheek.
the.
Well, when they hit you with their actual lips and not
Like,
the side of their cheek, I hate that too.
But they want to emphasize it?
Yeah, 'cause they were like, oh, I didn't get the kisses. Okay, I'm
High five, high five.
High five, high five.
Good game.
I can't. That is all we have for you guys today.
That's all she wrote.
Murder, she wrote.
Hey.
Oh, she hits with a couple no's. Y'all heard that, right? Thank
But
you
that's
so,
a good time,
so much for joining us. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for
Thank you
having
guys
me.
for listening. Any last comments?
Don't
Remarks?
subscribe. Don't like this video like every other video.
No likes, no likes.
The bet is still on.
Follow
No
us
likes.
on IG, Twitter, YouTube.
No likes.
No
All
likes.
of it. At the Hated Truth.
Comment all you want.
I'm gonna be so determined.
Comment everything.
I'm so
everything
upset
and
right
anything.
now.
Yeah.
Just don't
I'm
like.
gonna reshare this to everybody.
To keep liking it.
No.
Give us that 20.
But yeah, thank you guys for being with us.
Thank you guys for always tuning in.
Thank you guys for having me. It was so much fun.
Episode 1, season 4.
Hey, we're
2021.
back. 2021. And as always,
Hate it.
Hit it.
hit it.
Bye.